I'm just now getting out of a movie that I was excited to see this year, and for me, I was depending on this movie to be the best movie that will come out this year. And this is for many reasons, honestly. Because first of all, I love the director and writer Paul Thomas Anderson. This man, for a very long period, was my favorite director, to the point that he is amidst many, many famous people who write and direct their films, like Christopher Nolan, for example, or even Tarantino, who, by the way, Tarantino is a very huge Zionist, so that's why I am intentionally not talking about him at all. Anyway, we return to find that Paul Thomas Anderson is a very, very brilliant, genius man, and at the same time, no one talks about him enough. I feel like the man doesn't get enough appreciation for his films. People don't love him enough the way they love other directors and writers, even though he is literally a genius. And on the channel here, I've talked about his films multiple times. For example, I made a whole video talking about the film There Will Be Blood, and literally I praised it a lot. I admit that I praised it a very great deal because I love this film very much. Other films like The Master and many films this man has made that I loved. And this year, a trailer for his new film came out, which is the film Inherent Vice, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, the best actor of his generation, and the best actor in many recent years. I don't think that I have ever seen an acting performance by Leonardo DiCaprio before that was bad. Even he as an actor, in that he chooses his films very carefully. At the same time he acts. Also, in the film here is Sean Penn. The man, I don't need to talk about him. He has 2 Oscar awards. We'll talk about him anyway, I mean. So I got abnormally excited for this film. A film of 2 hours and 41 minutes. And I go in to watch the film and find that 2 hours and 41 minutes of enjoyment without any boredom at all. I enjoyed the film very much. A strange, wonderful film. Its story itself has absurd things and strange things, and it jumps suddenly like that in the events in a nice way you won't be annoyed by. And it talks, without spoilers, about a group of revolutionaries who are like a team. They carry out revolutionary operations in America. One of these revolutionaries becomes the explosives expert whose name is Bob, who is Leonardo DiCaprio. At the same time, the enemy of this revolutionary team is an army officer named Luke Joe. Our film's story, all of it, revolves around Bob, that he will marry a revolutionary woman with him. He has a daughter with her. The mother, we won't talk about her at all, so we don't spoil any events. But after 16 years from all these events, Bob, who is Leonardo DiCaprio, is living with his daughter. And what happens now is that the officer who was chasing them from 16 years ago comes back to look for them again. Like I said, the story is very strange, but you will enjoy it very, very much. For myself, like I said, I love Paul Thomas Anderson's films for many reasons. Because I feel that there is no film like the other, literally. The thing that might bring them close to each other, all these films, is that all the characters he writes have something special about them. Characters that develop in the film, and you feel they are uncomfortable, strange, but at the same time you don't hate their strangeness, and you will never know what will happen in his films. There are always these absurd things that happen and are unexpected. You won't even know how he will end his film. This is one of the very beautiful things in Paul Thomas Anderson's films. Or sometimes you even don't know what he wants from all these scenes, or what he wants in general and why he made the film. And Inherent Vice is a very, very enjoyable film. I mean, we could seriously say that it is the best film of the year so far. And we don't want to rush because there are still movies that will come out. And you will discover when you watch the film that it doesn't stop. It is a battle after a battle. And here we return to the film's name, Inherent Vice, battle after battle. From the sheer speed of the events in this film, when the cinema intermission that comes in the middle of the film came, I didn't want it to come. I didn't want to stop watching the film. I felt it cut me off from important events, from how much the events themselves are very confrontational, and the battle after battle doesn't stop at all. Even though, like I said, the film itself is very long, almost 3 hours long. You find fast editing of the events. Even the progression in time that will happen suddenly is very fast, and at the same time nice. And yet, if you follow Paul Thomas Anderson's films, you will also know that his films are not the best films to bring revenues, because you could say his films are not made for everyone. But this film here is different. When you see it, you will know that it is made for many people to see, and it will bring good revenues. It seems it will bring good revenues. The gunfire here is extremely badass. I want to say that there are films that have nice gunfire, to the point that it's a thing that needs to be mentioned, that you praise the film for having good gunfire. The gunfire, you feel like, you know it's a film, but the gunfire feels very real. In the film here, even the chases are very distinctive. There is a chase at the end of the film here. He goes up a road like this, going up and then going down. 3 cars coming behind each other, going up and down, like they are a wave in the sea, literally. This scene is breathtaking, and at the same time you feel like you are sitting with them in a strange way. The acting here is very nice. Leonardo DiCaprio was abnormally funny in this film here. There is a scene where he is just talking on the telephone, and you will die from laughter. He is playing a character named Bob, and you know any character named Bob in any film. He plays the ordinary man, the very ordinary man also. And what is present here in the film here is a character who is scared all the time, who doesn't have a necessity, you could say, in the events. By the way, I mean, he is not the most person with a necessity in the events, basically. And he got older and forgot many things, and became completely different from what he was 16 years ago. He became very normal. He did the role in a very awesome way. Even like I said, he is not strongly influential in the events. All the people are helping him. And which here brings us to the completely unexpected surprise. The best one who acted, who literally stole everything. His character is strangely distinctive. It's Sean Penn. I bet you that the role he played here and this psychopathic, mentally ill character will live with us for many, many years to come. And people will talk about it a lot in the future. Also, the best actor in the film here, without a doubt. His acting, guys, is very tremendous, terrifying, and uncomfortable, and at the same time crazy. And you don't know what is this character. The acting, of course, has no mistake, like I said, but a person who has everything wrong. You feel he is like a robot, from his very strange way of walking, but at the same time he is a bad person who worships his desires and lusts, and is a very sour element, and at the same time he does things like this. He is strange. The movements he does are very funny and very provocative at the same time. He was the best character in the film, without a doubt, and was a very big surprise in the film here. Like I said, I am sure this character will remain with us for a very long time. People will talk about it. The Spanish sensei that the actor Benicio del Toro did, and he was also an enjoyable character, and was done very nicely also. And even the girl, his daughter, her acting was nice. And I feel that any actor who acts in a film for Paul Thomas Anderson, he brings out all the capabilities they have. Because even if you see, for example, the film Magnolia, you will see Tom Cruise doing a mighty character. In this film here, and in the film Punch Drunk Love, imagine an actor like Adam Sandler, who most of his films and his acting in them is very bad. He makes him give a performance in this film that the least said about it is that it is very awesome. So Paul Thomas Anderson, it seems that any actor who acts under him gives a genius acting performance. Of course, I have a few problems with the film. First, I am not very interested in American politics, and I feel like I am making an escape from issues like illegal immigration and the things that are very American or very Western. They don't resonate with us Arabs. I mean, we, the people, are not very connected to them. So their excessive presence in the film was, for me, I wasn't very interested, At the same time, there are also things I had problems with, but these contain spoilers, so that's why I won't mention them strongly. But I might make another video with spoilers if I watch the film again in the cinema, because I plan, God willing, to go watch it again in the cinema. But they are things that were provocative for me, and I can summarize them in things I feel were exaggerated at the end of the film or were a little silly. There is a thing this man did. For example, you will find that he appeared suddenly like that at the end of the film, and when you see him, know that you will see a silly thing about to happen. It will block you because it has no explanation. So the ending of the film, for me, I feel it wasn't satisfying enough. There are several things at the end. You could say that these characters, I don't understand why Paul Thomas Anderson did this at the end. It's not that it's bad, understand, but I feel it was exaggerated, and there are several things that made me feel I wasn't satisfied with them, honestly. The music in the film here was very nice. Of course, I said the acting, of course, is wonderful, with all the meaning of the word. A first-class comedy film, and I wasn't expecting anything like that at all. A film full of comedic situations, at the same time full of politics, between two opposites completely, full of chaos very terribly, full of unexpected events exciting interest, all events within events. That's why I say this is a film that needs many people to see it, basically, because it is a film for all people. A first-class enjoyable film. And of course, this is not the best film of Paul Thomas Anderson. The man made a film like There Will Be Blood. Can you imagine? What a best acting performance. But this film remains an enjoyable film and a very nice film. And I give the film, I am comfortable until you see it a second time. So I believe in the end that it is difficult for a film this year to defeat this film. We still don't want to rush. There are still several months left, and the films in it will still come out. But I don't think there will be something that nice again this year. And the last thing I want to say is, don't go into the film with your expectations very high. Because no matter how nice this film is, it will be bad if your expectations are exaggerated. So go in normally and enjoy a new experience.